Hello, my Gamma friends. This video, I want to tell you about out a whole bunch of shows that I loved that I believe were canceled slash ended too soon. To start off, I want to go with the excellent and Santa Clarita Diet. And, this is a show about out a mom who ends up being in kind of like a zombie, and hilarity ensues as she's deciding who um people to eat to survive. And like she particularly tries to eat bad people. Oh, there's so much hilarity in this film or this TV show. Oh, I highly recommend watching it. And I think it was ended or canceled too soon. Next is Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Is This show was so good, and so beautifully done, so emotional. And also really funny. I've cried watching this show. It's amazing. The way that they do some of the songs in it are just amazing, and it's sad that it ended after just 2 seasons. I know they did a sequel movie, but I still want more. Next is Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. This was a absolutely hilarious sitcom. And again, it only lasted 2 seasons, and it was crazy. It's crazy to me that it only lasted 2 seasons because it was absolutely hilarious. Though I will say, I think if it were to come back, I would want it to come back on a streaming service instead of on just regular TV, because I think a streaming service it could be allowed to do some more do more mature jokes. It definitely has some mature jokes in it, but I want to actually have a TVMA rating to really make the jokes as raunchy as possible. Well, I think it would work really well for the show. But yeah, it definitely ended too soon. Christian Ritter was so great in the show, and this was like her. This was, I think her last role before playing Jessica Jones for Marvel, and she just absolutely killed it. Next is DC's Powerless. This was ended after just 1 season. They didn't even air the whole season. They just stopped airing it when there was just a couple episodes left. And I know most people didn't really like this show, but I loved it. I thought it was hilarious, and I love the concept of a show set within in the world of superheroes. It's not about the superheroes themselves. It's about regular people. I think that's a fantastic concept for a show that it's sad that they didn't continue with it. Next is another one that only had 1 season. I really enjoyed it. It was called Kevin Probably Saves the World, and it was about this guy named Kevin and him saving things, whether directly or as accident, and it was so much fun. And oh my god, it was great. But for some reason it got canceled. I'm guessing it just didn't get enough views. Next is God Friended Me. This lasted, I think, 3 seasons, and I loved the mystery of this show. Oh, and and it's basically, as the title says, it's this guy who got friended by God on Facebook, and this mysterious God account has been and telling him places to go to help people, and there's this mystery throughout the whole show of them trying to figure out who it is, because they don't necessarily believe that it's actually God, and they never confirmed whether it is or not in the show. But it was such great storytelling, really interesting mystery, and I hate that it got canceled, because it seemed like they were getting close to actually finding out. Next is AP Bio. So AP Bio originally was on regular TV, then it moved to a streaming service. And I loved it both with on regular TV and on the streaming service. But after I think it was just one season on the streaming service, it got canceled, and it sucked because the show was absolutely hilarious. There's and the pranks that they would do in it and on different people were just amazing, they funny, and honestly, I rather Glenn Howerton's in his role in this than in It's Sunny in Philadelphia. I think he's even more hilarious in this than he is in that. And I know that's crazy to say, but I think that it is. He is, and him as this teacher who doesn't want to teach is honestly so amazing. And honestly, though I know he's obviously not going to be a Mr. Fantastic in Marvel, Pedro Pascal is. I think this show told me that he would have been a good one with his attitude in the show. Next is Me, Myself, and I. This is another one that did not even air its whole season, but I really enjoyed it. It's the story of this guy. I told it 3 different parts of his life, and all 3 parts are absolutely hilarious. It saddened me that it was pulled from the schedule, so they didn't even air the whole season. It was like 5 episodes they aired. Next is Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. It only lasted 2 seasons, and they said that was like the whole story they wanted to tell, and it's fine them ending off where they did, but I love this incarnation of Scooby and the gang, so I just wanted to see them continue with a new storyline, and so it saddened me that they ended off with just 2 seasons. This is one I think would be absolutely perfect to have a revival on streaming. Next is Generator Rex. This was a really fun cartoon I watched as a kid, about this guy who had machine parts in him that he could turn into different things, and it was so much fun to watch. There was some great mystery to it, and he also crossed over with Ben 10. It was so good. Next, I'm gonna go with Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the Defenders. These are actually my 3 favorites of the Netflix Marvel shows, and I just want to see all 3 of them brought back. They're all just really good. And then I'm gonna go with the Newsroom. I really enjoyed Jeff Daniels. I think that's his name. As the main character in this, and I really wish it would be brought back, because Lord knows the news world needs some fact checking these days. Next is the iCarly sequel show. I love this show. This is my favorite reboot of a show that's ever been done, and it saddens me that they ended it off on this cliffhanger, so we don't ever get to find out who Carly's mom is. And then next is Daybreak. This is one I just recently watched. It's a funny a post-apocalyptic show on Netflix that I just fell in love with as soon as I found it. And then iZombie is a show about this girl who is a zombie, and she's working with the police department. It's great. And then finally Hulk and the Agents of Smash and the Superhero Squad show. I loved both these shows, and I think they both ended off way too early. Alright, that's all I have to say for this video. As always, Free Palestine. This again is your host, Smash Joy John, signing off.